guys, we're back with another episode of Will You Accept This Rosé, where we break down everything that happened in last night's episode of The Bachelorette.
Today we went with a love-drunk rosé because there is a note on the front label of the bottle that says, when reality is better than your dreams. And so far, this season of this reality TV show has exceeded our wildest dreams. So,
That's not the truth.
We will drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This week's episode kicks off with probably my favorite group date in Bachelorette history. The guys meet up with Jason Biggs randomly and Jenny Mullen.
Yeah, they're taking a quiz about how much they know about women's reproductive organs and like the gestation period of babies and proper care practices. They're walking around with pregnancy like simulator things strapped to their chests.
We'll clothespin on their nipples to see how breastfeeding feels.
Not looking forward to that.
Tyler C, basically all he knows is that the girl's belly gets bigger and she just likes to eat a lot. Cam thinks that the gestational period is 2 weeks as opposed to 9 months. Obviously, it's clear that a woman has never touched him before.
So many of these guys are football players too from the South. So they have this segment where they're like, all of the guys are walking around holding these babies like with a football hold on them.
And then you got John Paul Jones. He's like spilling milk everywhere and like shaking the baby. And then we move on to the labor simulator, which was the best part of the whole day, I would say. It looked like these guys were either having like a really intense orgasm or they're like about to throw up.
So what, Tyler gets on there and he thinks he's posing for like a photo shoot or something and he has the one arm over his head, which was nice to watch, but even the pain didn't register that much on his face.
Because it was just like another ab workout for him, I'd say.
The more the merrier.
Let's be honest.
Jed and Hannah were actually really cute again
really cute.
because they were like goofing around and doing breathing exercises together.
And then we have John Paul Jones, who is all, oh, Kelly Clarkson.
We have the après drinks, the cocktail hour after the date. Cam is still bitching about the fact that he's gotten the least amount of time with her, so you know something's going to escalate.
You got Mike that sits down with Hannah and tells him about how his ex-girlfriend and him, they got pregnant and ended up having a miscarriage, and basically he's just like a deadbeat father. Such a serious conversation. And then Cam comes in with his like hoodie blazer combination, interrupts not once, not twice, but 3 times.
To be like, excuse me, when you guys are done, I have something really important to talk about. Like, honestly, do you not think that do you think they're talking about like sports or something?
Right.
What do you think they're talking about right now?
Read the room, dude.
Read the room, Cam.
But his announcement was that he resigned his job, just like probably every other guy in the show. So just tells her that he's unemployed. I'm not sure how that's impressive, Cam.
I'll always go in and like spoil the waters, and then the guy who was just with Hannah will come out to the rest of the other guys and say, yo, Cam just did this. Cam just interrupted me. Cam is being so annoying.
One of them at least is like, okay, well, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna like steal her away. And that's exactly what Jonathan does.
And Cam, finally, when Jonathan comes back out after the conversation, just stares him down. And it's the most uncomfortable confrontation that I've ever seen so far, I guess, in this episode.
Until John Paul Jones comes in. Anybody want a chicken nugget? Honestly, I think like the chicken nuggets in this season is like the equivalent of like Colin taking a shower in the last season. It's like you always just like see a chicken nugget appear.
Hard to know which one I prefer, honestly, at this point. So after the awkward confrontation between Cam and Jonathan, Hannah decides to give the rose to Mike for admitting that he was a bad father the first time that he ever got a chick pregnant.
So the message gets relayed to Connor that Hannah was in the hospital, so they're gonna just basically be spending time in this hotel room. The guys think that's like the sexiest thing ever. They're like, oh yeah, you get to like spend time in a hotel with a girl that just got hospitalized.
Yeah, they're like,
so
cuddling
jealous.
is the best. Cuddling is the best thing, so that's honestly the best date you could have. And then as soon as he leaves, they're like, oh my, that sucks. He's only gonna get like an hour, and she's sick, she doesn't even feel good.
So he's picking up soup, some flowers, a card, like doing all the good things you should do like when a woman is sick.
He does it right. He does it right.
They have a conversation for like an hour about like when his mom was airlifted to the hospital.
Yeah.
They make out. On the way out, Connor does like the cutest thing possible, leaves notes for her all over the hotel about like reasons why he likes her.
Your maturity, your smile,
your sparkling eye.
Yeah, your great energy, your joy.
He's pretty bummed that, you know, he didn't get like a lot of time with her. So he's like hanging out with the guys. Luke P randomly is like, what was she wearing?
Pajamas, who cares?
Yeah, she's in bed. She's sick. She just got hospitalized.
Yeah, was nothing.
Then the limo driver shows up. He's like, hey, you got 15 minutes to look sharp, my man. Connor shows up to a private concert with Lucas Graham, which honestly I think ABC, they made her go on this date because they already paid the deposit.
No, 100%. 100%. They were like, I need to pump her full of IV fluid and get her to this concert.
Yeah, as soon as he shows up, he automatically gets the rose. The next group day, we have a photo shoot, which is basically just like a 20-minute ad of Secret Life of Pets 2.
Which is brilliant on the part of the marketers for Pixar, because no one saw the first one, and like odds they're not going to see the second one, but at least they're going to spend a little bit of that marketing budget.
They're using like the Secret Life of Pets to like bring Demi back into this, because apparently she's like a spy now.
Because she's got secret cams set up with all the girls around the set trying to loop these guys into flirting with them, and none of them take the bait. They did an animal photo shoot with just the guy and the animal, and then they did a couples photo shoot with the guy and the girl.
Luke P this whole entire time is just like freaking out because like Peter is like getting close to Hannah.
He is turning into stage 5. Stage 5 clinger for sure.
It's very clear when he goes up to her when he's like trying to get more time with her, but he's like, you know, I can walk you back to your changing room.
She's like, no, don't. Please just stay there. I think I'm going to have to go alone to my changing room. They sit down for drinks after the date, and she doesn't even wait for any of the guys to invite her. She goes, Luke P, can I talk to you for a second? Since when should the Bachelorette be the one pulling the guys aside to have to discipline them? It's like she's babysitting.
And even in the rest of the episode, Luke people like come in and like try and interrupt, and she'll say, later, I'll talk to you later. And then gives the group day rose to Peter, who I'm glad about because they had like this hot make-out session against like the wall, and he has like these pilot puns. Yes.
So the next day, Chris Harrison comes to the Bachelor Mansion, and he announces instead of a cocktail party, it's going to be a tailgate.
Before the tailgate party even begins, Cam sits down with all of the guys and tells them that he has something really, really important to tell her, so he needs to pull her away right away.
Cam pulls an ABC, and he's like, I might leave. Crickets. No one says anything. ABC cuts to panning around, and then all of a sudden Mike goes, bullshit. And then they unleash the guys into this tailgate, like, scenario, and they're just thriving. And Cam, of course, wet blanket goes, excuse me, can I talk to you for a second?
So at this point, I'm expecting Cam to have, like, this really good pity story, because his 2 last girlfriends broke up with him after, telling him these stories. But no, it is literally a story of him almost getting his leg amputated, having a surgery, having his grandma dead, and having to rehouse his 10-month-old puppy.
Within like the same 2 weeks or something really ridiculous like that.
That's his big story.
She leaves, and then Mike pulls her aside. And then Mike is like, he's asking for pity. Because
the pity rose.
Oh, yeah, because he pulled us aside and asked to speak to you first. And Hannah is so mad. She calls him out, and she's like, you're just doing drastic things to try and stay on rather than making a genuine connection with me.
When she's on her way out from the tailgate party, she even says, I'm not looking to give out any pity roses, but I'll see you soon for the rose ceremony.
She's mad.
Cam's obviously freaking out about this at this point, but luckily she sends him home.
Cam goes home. There's like 2 other dudes. We're also still missing that one guy with the jawline.
She definitely brushed by that bit of information because, like, why did Tyler G leave? She didn't
His jaw was too square.
So that about wraps up this week's episode of Like Except This Rosé.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at OCN Video and follow us on Twitter at OCN_Rosé Reviews. We live tweet every episode.
So stay tuned for next week.
Ready for those kilts?
Yes. Is that next week?
It's not soon enough.
Cheers. Oh my god.
I'm not quite love drunk, but I'm getting there.
Reminds me of that, like, boys like girls song.